Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Ostranauts, and this is build 14 of that game, which came out in September of 24, and we're still covering some of the new material in the game. But we're also going to today take a quick look at something that has been around for a while, but I've never really done anything with it, and that is the gig system. First thing I want to say is thanks again for watching my video, and if you haven't, I would really appreciate a subscription to my channel. It does help me out, and thank you for considering doing that for me. So we had talked briefly about gigs in the last video. I tried to pick one up as I was traveling back from Venus and really couldn't find a decent one that made sense to grab. Thought I'd go ahead and show how the system works, though I kind of tried to cover it but didn't take one. It didn't go terribly well. I was also asked a few times, why haven't you been doing gigs? Wouldn't it have been smarter to just do 10 minutes of gigs at the beginning to get money for your trade license? And the short answer is yes, it probably would have been, but there is a reason I didn't, and that is the very first time I took a gig, not really knowing anything about what I was doing, I selected one that I could not complete. I don't remember the exact reason. I think it maybe needed me to go to one of the nav stations or something, and that just was not possible in my starting configuration. So it kind of tainted the waters. It seemed to be something that it was easy to mess up and not beneficial at the time. I have done gigs in the meantime here and there, usually for a few bucks, maybe in between things that I was doing, kill some boredom, things like that. But I haven't made a big habit of grabbing them and checking them out. I do recommend peeking at them once in a while. There are several different types of missions, and sometimes you may stumble upon a ship that has a unique name, and you'll notice it in a mission, and sometimes that can be important. You can make a little bit of cash by knowing exactly where that ship is and being able to go track it down again. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the gig interface. In order to do a gig, you right-click on the kiosk and or desk, whatever we want to call it, and you use it. Now we are on the commercial level of K-Leg right now, and that happens to be where this one starts. And we're going to go ahead and take this, but real quick, I want to run through the other gigs that are here so we can see what kinds of gigs there are. So courier is taking something from point A to point B. And so we're going to do that, and that'll be fun. There's another one of those. We could probably grab that when we hit the other desk. Heavy hitting. These are racketeering. This is where you go and rough somebody up. I have not done one of these. I hadn't actually even noticed these until I started paying attention here the last day or two, trying to put together an idea for how to craft this video. And yeah, heavy hitting it's interesting. You get paid really well. This one you have to travel pretty far, and I think the payout is often related to how far you have to move and how much time it's going to take, or at least how much time is allotted. But in the heavy hitting ones, you have to hurt someone badly without rendering them unconscious, and then tell them that someone sends their regards. That makes me laugh. That's funny. I haven't really done enough fighting to know if there's a point where you can hurt someone without rendering them unconscious. The fights I've done have been with pirates, and they are to the death. So that's interesting to me. I might give one of these a try sometime. Maybe not this one. 6 AU's kind of a good haul. I'm not sure I want to do that just yet. Nonetheless, let's move on through. There's another heavy hitting. There's honeypot. This is like a romantic entrapment. Actually, that's what it says. They want you to compromise somebody by getting into a relationship with them that they can then exploit. There's sensitive item delivery, which is effectively a version of the courier. Security recon, I haven't done one of these, but it looks like someone wants to frame someone else and they need you to take a look at them, see if someone is there. Okay, so easy enough, I guess, except for the distance traveled. Another honeypot, heavy hitting. The other mission type that I know is out there, but we're not seeing one right now, is investigating somebody's death. It may not actually say their death, but they want to know the whereabouts, or they want to locate someone. Periodically on a ship, when you find a dead body, you should probably take a look at the name, maybe even write it down where the ship is or what ship it's on. Sometimes you'll see, someone's missing and they want to know more about what happened to them, and those can be really easy missions to complete pretty quickly if you already know where the person is that they are looking for. So we're going to go ahead and take this gig. We have to do it in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. It starts here and it goes to the main level of KLAG. Easy enough. There are bonuses for the faster we do it. I don't know that we could do it in 20 seconds. It does indicate there's a cost. I don't know when that money gets taken out of the account. I haven't seen how that works. Tells us who it's for and who it gets delivered to, although we won't actually know this, but we do want to know that it's sterile bandages. That kind of tells us what to expect when we open the locker. So this should be just fine. And I'm going to go ahead and hit take. As soon as I hit take, we will exit and we're going to pause right away. I don't want to lose any of the possible time to do this mission to maybe get that bonus. So it said that there was a pickup locker. The pickup locker is the kiosk desk. And if we right click it, before we only had use and restore. This time there's actually a third option, which is access locker. So I'm going to hit number 1 and it's going to open inventory. And you'll notice that there's a Gig Nexus job kiosk. And in it are some scraps of cloth, which are effectively bandages, right? So we're going to grab those. And I'm going to put them in a cargo pocket just so I don't get them confused with anything else, although in this case I don't have any other cloth, so that shouldn't really be a problem. And we will close the inventory screen. We're going to run to the transit. And we're going to jump to Port Ezekwe. And the moment that completes, we will pause again and find the desk and try to complete this as quickly as we can. So I paused there. Here's the desk, right click. And now I'm going to want to access the locker because I need to, as you recall, the gig said that it needed to go to the locker. And we can look at our gigs on our PDA. We're doing a shipment of sterile bandages and the drop off is Port Ezekwe. So when it says it's like a port like that, it means the desk here, the kiosk. So we're going to right click the kiosk, select access locker. We're going to put the bandages in the locker, pause. Again, I don't want to lose any time that I don't have to. Grab the cloth, put it in the locker, close inventory, right click on the desk. This time we're going to use the desk, and that's because we need to do that in order to turn in our gigs. So here's a list of gigs that are still out there. We're going to click My Gigs. Here's the one we just did, and I'm going to say turn in. And it is going to tell me how quickly I did it. So we did silver tier. So we got the middle bonus is what it looks like to me. And you'll notice that our bank account has been adjusted appropriately. We can look at that. Hey there, Editor Chad here. So after recording the video and looking at this part, I tried to make sense of the numbers that I got for the payout. And the silver level is exactly what the difference in my balance is, which is 592.90. That makes some sense, but what didn't make sense is what is that 616.54 that's listed there. And what it looks to me like is that is the 592 plus what the cost was for the mission, which was 23.64. That adds up to that 616.54. But I don't know why. I don't know what that number is supposed to represent. The difference in my balance, if you rewind and look, to me looks like it's 592.90. I don't know why it has 616.64 there. Back to the video. That's how you do a gig. It's just that easy. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and look and see if there's any different ones here that we could do. There was another one that went from here to Old Emporium. And that's another one that wants it to be done in as quickly as 20 seconds. Again, I don't know that I can do that, but let's go ahead and do this again real quick, just to repeat the process and learn how it works better. Access the locker, pause. I didn't pause right away, so this is a spare screen that's getting taken. Close that. Go to the transit. I'm looking at the time here to see if time moves at all, 56:12, and time did not move while we were on the transit, so that's a bonus. At least we don't have to worry about that. And then the Gig Nexus is right around the corner from the transit. We're going to want to access the locker, pause, put the item in the locker, Right click it again, use it. My gigs, select the gig, turn in gold tier payout. So I was able to do this one faster. That's awesome. Close that, just take a quick peek. And as you can see, this one received 1,200 credits for it. So that is gigging. I hope this helped a little bit if the process was confusing to you. I know that the locker part confused me initially. I struggled to figure out, where do I get the thing that it wants me to take? I had no idea. You just click it again. So that was good information to come upon. Across the levels, the kiosks will have very similar missions. And I don't think you can take a courier mission unless you are at the locker that it is going to start from. I think you can only take it from that location. So that's something to be aware of. This one is, again, going from commercial to here. I don't think I can hit take. Yeah, cannot, wrong pickup kiosk. So you have to be at the right kiosk in order to take a mission. With that said, that is the process of doing gigs. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for joining me in this endeavor. And until next time, fair travels.